Good morning. Welcome to Thoughts Can Change Your Life with me, Reverend Wolak. Here each and every day at 8 a.m., except Sunday, 7 days at 7:30. And we explore the idea of what does our mind do? How does our mind create our life? And today, I'm going to discuss something that I think is really significant, and yet it's very simple. You see, we've got this concept that if we do something, it's a value. I go to the gym every day, most every day, probably 6 days a week I'm in the gym. And I watch people as they do what they call a workout. And there's some people that come in, they do a workout, they leave after about a month or two, never see them again. There's some people that are there every day and they're more on their phone, texting, watching videos, talking to friends. There's some people who are in there 20, 30 minutes and they're kicking their butt. The reason I'm sharing that with you is because it's not what you do, it's how you do it that matters. And that's true of every aspect of life. How you do it is all that matters. Because that part of you within you that is a creative nature knows that if you are putting yourself into it, you are putting all of you into it. It knows you believe it. So the question I ask is, what are you working on right now? And are you really putting your all into it? Are you putting 100% of your emotions, your thoughts, your actions into it? Because if you're only putting part of it in, you're only going to get part of it out. And that's really the hard thing for people to understand. Here's a good question. What are you committed to? And do you understand what commitment means? Commitment means that you've committed to something and you're going to go through with it to the best of your ability, and you're not going to quit until you've achieved it. Until you've achieved it. I hear people talk about, I'm going to make my relationship work. I'm going to make my relationship work with my partner, yada, yada, yada. But they're not committed to changing themselves. Here's a key thing. If you don't change yourself, the relationship can't change. It's not waiting around for the other person to change. If you're waiting around for the other person to change, you're going to wait a long time. The only thing you can have control over is how fast you change. How are you showing up in the world? And you know what? I don't care what aspect of life it is. How are you showing up in the world? Are you fully engaged, fully present? Here's an interesting point. When I go to I call it the Dago store. It's how I was raised. It's the Italian market. When I go to Jimmy's in Dallas, the only Italian market, I go in with an attitude that I belong. I go in with an attitude of I am so grateful that this market exists. I go in with an attitude that, God, this is just absolutely great. So when I go to the counter to get my provolone cheese or my Parmesan or whatever I'm getting, and the people there know me, they don't know me by name, but they know me by energy. I get the best smiles. I get the best service because I'm going in there with a full expectation that I'm getting the best Italian food in the world. I go into Jimmy's, I walk up to the owner and I say, hey, do you got a case of San Marzano tomatoes? They're the best tomatoes in the world. He goes, yeah, they are. And I said, I would love to have a case. He says, here's a case, gives me a case, and he says, 10% discount for you. It's almost like the soup Nazi, right? No soup for you. In this case, it's 10% discount for you. It's about attitude. When you go into a restaurant and you sit down, do you look at the server and say, hey, I really would like some great service, and I want you to know I'm going to tip you really well if I get great service? Are you setting an expectation up front, or are you waiting and seeing what they'll give you? Don't wait. Set an expectation. Have you set an expectation for your day today? Good question. What do you got on the plan today? Hey, you know what I got later on today? And all of you could be a part of it. I've got agape gatherings. You know what agape gathering is? Where people connect on Zoom. And all we do is we share, we talk, we explore together. If you would like to be a part of that gathering, go to agapespiritualcenter.com, click on the calendar, and you'll find a link either to the one at 1:30 this afternoon, or there's one at 7 p.m. JJ will be on the one at 1:30 because JJ's in England. So in England, it's probably about 7:30 or 8:30 there. I think it's 7:30 there. But you are all welcome. Everyone's welcome to that gathering because it's a way to connect. More importantly, it's a way to connect with like-minded people. Because you can connect with a lot of people, but they may not be like-minded. Are you getting that? Here's what the agape people are. They're the agape people are the people who don't let fear control their lives. They go beyond fear because they understand that fear controls you. And fear is a prayer. The more you fear, the more you attract what you fear to you. Do you get that? How do you fear? Do you have a lot of emotion behind how you fear? How you talk about the things going on and how fearful you are and all that? Guess what? You're going to get it because the universal law of giving and receiving, the law of cause and effect, the law of attraction, the law of reciprocity, the law of circulation, whatever you want to call that universal law, it gives who you are. And the universal law knows, here's the thing, if you're in that gym and you're doing a half-ass workout, the law gives you a half-ass result. You know what I love? On Tuesdays, I go to a special gym. And in this gym, they have a machine that's motor-driven, controlled by a computer, and it measures 4 different metrics. It measures how much you push, and then how much you resist. It measures your intensity, and it measures your total output. And it's always measuring against what you've done before. So when you're done with that one workout, that one set, it tells you exactly how much your effort, how you did the exercise proved. If you get a green light, guess what? You did better than before. If you get a yellow light, you didn't do better than before. Now, it doesn't mean you got to do better than before. Yesterday, out of my 416 lights, I had 4 green. Some days I can't do better. It takes time to do better. Here's the key thing. I gave 4 green lights. I kicked butt. I did my best. Ian says, that's something I struggle with. I worry about things a little too much. I start to catch myself and choose to change my thoughts. Yeah, here's a key thing. Start worrying about it. Think about the opposite. One of my favorite affirmations is good things always happen to me and good things always happen through me. And that happens when I put my focus on what I desire, not what I don't desire. Moniqua says, quick question. If you put out bad energy like your thoughts and you want to take it back and put out positive energy, could you do that? Here's the key thing. You don't have to take back any energy, Moniqua. You just think the new thought. It's that simple. You don't have to go cancel, cancel, cancel. No. Just think the new thought. Speak the new words. Speak it with good mojo, good emotion behind it, good feelings behind it. And you'll know it because you feel differently. Don't you feel differently, Nico, when you're talking to someone and you're putting out complaining and you're gossiping and there's a dark energy about it? You know what you feel like. You can feel it in your body. You can feel it in your heart. But if you're putting out things that are positive meaning where you want to go, things you want to experience, and you're juiced about it, how does your body feel? What sensations do you feel in your heart? Your body and emotions are a feedback mechanism, and they give you the best feedback in the world. Are you on course or are you off course? If you're off course, you do what? You don't pull back. You can't pull back. You've already gone that distance. You turn in the direction of what you want. Think, speak, and feel and act on the thoughts that serve you. Remember this. This is a really big thing today, and I invite you to try it in your day, whatever your day is like. Remember, it's not what you're going to do today. It's how you do it. Do it with joy. Do it with the idea of expansion. Everybody? Oh, I have agape gatherings today. If you want to be a part of an agape gathering, go to agapespiritualcenter.com. Click on the calendar. You'll find a link for Zoom. We meet at 1:30 Central Time and we meet at 7 p.m. Central Time. Everyone's welcome. Here's what I want to tell you. Feel good today. Put it out there. I accept you and I love you just the way you are. Until next time, aloha.